everyone and welcome to the PES League studios. This evening it is the draw for the World Finals. We've been through regionals. This is where things really start to heat up. I am Paul Machin. I am joined by Adam Butcher. Adam, are you excited?
I'm very excited. We've got some incredible players, incredible teams as well with the co-ops in the bowls, which we'll get to shortly, and I can't wait to get things underway.
Yeah, big responsibility for you today doing the drawing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. I know a lot of you guys will probably be watching at home and you're waiting with bated breath as to who I put you up against in your group, so hopefully I'll do a good job for you.
Indeed. So yes, first and foremost, we're going to be doing the draw for the co-ops, followed by the draw for the 1v1s as well. Very, very exciting. So some of the best players in the world going to go head to head and going to begin their preparation period from here, finding out who they're going to be going head to head against in the groups. We'll be doing the draw very shortly, but first, Adam, would you like to take us over to the bowls and explain the format to our wonderful watching public?
Yes, I would. Of course, like we said, we've got the best of PES 2019 right here in these bags. We have first the co-op, and then we'll get to the 1v1s afterwards. We have two teams from the Americas who qualified through the Americas region, of course. We have two from the Asia region, two from Europe, and two from partner/last chance. And if you don't know what that is, for the 1v1s, some of them qualified through a last chance final, through some of the regional spit your words out.
Absolutely.
Some of the regional finals, the people who didn't quite qualify through to the world finals got another chance to go through with that. And the partner teams are through partners of course, Konami, etc. So that's how they qualified, and they're going to go into that final bowl. We're going to take one out of Group A to start. So the first one out of Americas will be Group A, the second one out of Americas will be in Group B, and then we'll go on, etc., through the rest of the bowls. I probably made that far more complicated than it needed to be, but we'll explain again as we go through.
Absolutely. It's very much like when someone explains the rules of a board game to you. It won't maybe make sense until we get into it, but it does make perfect sense. But absolute clarity, we'll know who is going to be where in a moment. If you want to keep up to date with everything we're doing, of course, don't forget at PES League on Twitter. You can leave your comments and your thoughts on the draw as it happens on the Twitch channel. Let us know right here, right now, who are your favourites for the co-ops and for the 1v1s, and what sort of dream matchups and pairings and head-to-heads you would like to see be drawn out by the wonderful Adam Butcher there as well. We're going to draw out the tension a little bit first, though. Let's take a closer look at the people who are going to be going into these pots for our co-ops draw.
Oh, what a beautiful pass. Like I said, should have laid it off for Aubameyang, but he's going to finish it in the duel with the defender. Holds him off and just finishes it in the short corner. No chance for Czech. 5-1, and we have our world finalists.
perder una anotación de esta. ¡Llega el arquero! ¡Gol! Del Nantes lograron 1-0 0, commenta Pierita Catalano.
ポゼッションはワニ左サイドでオーバーメアン折り返して決まったなんといや
About QDS is the fact that they are playing with no stress, according to Neocams, because they felt they were the underdogs. Well, they've got themselves all the way to the final. Now the pressure is well and truly on. Can they now live up to this expectation? Yards away from going through to the World Finals. QDS.
He's got the mind games of where he's going.
It's the 17-year-old little genius to win it. And he's won it.
Seems to be a favourite. They're going to go exactly that again, looking for Aubameyang. Does flick it on! And that probably is the winner!
There it is.
Erupts in the arena. Tiger Esports are your champions for the Season 2 regional finals here in America.
Wow, there you go, some genuinely thrilling stuff there. Those guys have all made it into today's Co-op World Final Draw. Hi, I'm Paul Machin, this is Adam Butcher. We're in the PES League studios about to do the Co-op Finals Draw. Adam,
yes, Paul.
would you care just one more time just to run through the mechanics?
I'd love to, because the first time
us, may not quite understand what's about to happen, but yeah, we're about to do the co-op draw. Before you do, just mention to DZs there who shouted out as Macabile as being his pick to win the 1v1s. Keep your shouts coming in using the comments alongside the Twitch stream as well, and we'll do some more of them as the evening progresses. Adam, without further ado.
Yes, so we are going to start now firstly with the co-op draw. So we have two groups, Group A and Group B. We have 4 teams in each. And firstly, I'm going to be taking one ball out of the Americas, but in fact, let's put the balls in the bowl so you can see how this is going to go. So just for full transparency, There should be 2 balls coming out of there. There's 3. No, there's only 2. Don't worry. And then we go into, I feel like some sort of game show host. And then we go into the Asias, and we have, of course, 2 from there who qualified through that region, 2 from Europe, and 2 from the partner/last chance. So I'm going to be taking the first ball out of the first bowl for Group A, and the second bowl out of the first bowl will be going into Group B, and then we're going to go on to the second region, third and fourth, and then hopefully, Paul, the 2 groups will have 4 teams in.
Let's fingers crossed, or we'll have a major issue if that's not the case. Well, Adam, I think we've built the anticipation sufficiently. Let's dive into it.
I could sort of
mix them up,
but it's it's only 2. So the first ball out of the first bowl. Hopefully, there's a team in there, and there is, and it is, of course, Tigers Esports.
Tigers Esports, we know, are America's regional finals winner to get themselves to this draw. Big,
one
big
of the
favourites for them to
favourites.
shine. Yeah, absolutely, one of the favourites indeed.
So,
should we
just
verify
for second adjudication
just
there?
to prove that this is a real endeavour. There you go, Tigers Esports, brilliant.
So now I'm going to pick the second ball out of the first bowl, and hopefully it will be the second team who qualified from the Americas, and they will go straight into Group B, and they are the Liga Sul Stars.
Yes, absolutely, Liga Sul Stars. Mercifully, because there are 2 teams in the group, I'm very glad that is the team. They were, of course, the another of the America's regional finals winners from season 1 at this time. So, a bit more of a wait to get them to this tournament, of course. But as I say, one of the
time to train, time to prepare.
Exactly. But yes, once again, one of the hot picks for potential overall winners from this tournament. There you go.
So, as stated before, we are now going to go into the Asia region, the 2 teams who qualified through there, and the first ball out will be going straight into Group A, the second slot in Group A out of 4, and that team is going to be Wani.
Wani, yes. Our Asia Regional Finals winner from Season 2. This time around, they boasted a 93% win record in qualifying, making them real contenders for the number 1 spot.
I know they're all great teams, but that Group A already after 2 teams is looking pretty hot.
Absolutely, indeed. Okay.
So now on to the second team to qualify through the Asia region, and going into Group B, the second slot in Group B, beginners. I'm sure they're not going to be beginners.
Anything but, of course, the Season 2 winners from the Asia Regional Finals. Much more than their name suggests, with an impressive performance at the Corp Regional Finals, it says in front of me, which was tremendously worded. There you go, that is...
As if you wrote it yourself.
As if I wrote it myself. Brilliant. Shall we just take a little pause, just to see how the groups are lining up so far? You've got to build the tension in these situations. As we can see, still waiting for those to be fully updated. The Tiger Esports and E-Liga Sul Stars, they're being joined so far by Wani and beginners. Shall we crack in then to our third?
So we're now going to go on to our Europe region, and then finalising with the partners and last chance. And I'm going to take the first one out, and this again is going to be in Group A, and the third team into Group A will be Kudislags, the duo, or might be a trio now, I believe.
Very, very interesting. Those of you who followed our EU Regional Season 2 finals will know that they played as a 2-man team. Some tremendous action. A real highlight of the Regional 2 Season 2
one of the youngest players
finals
on the tour, of course.
Absolutely. So yeah, very, very excited to see them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Adam. Beautiful QDS indeed.
There you go. And on to our final ball out of 2.
And those of you who've been paying attention throughout this should know who this is going to be. Very, very excited to see this team drawn out.
Yeah, qualifying through the first regional finals, of course. Broken silence, last year's world champions in the first ever co-op that the PES League has ever seen.
Absolutely, yes. Our reigning champions have been drawn out. Arguably the team to watch. Yes, stay tuned. Should we have a little closer look there at the groups and just see how they are shaping up?
Just the one from each.
Oh,
Hey, there we go. Oh, right in there at the death.
Group A so far, and then is the Tigers Esports with Wani and the Cuda Schlags, and Group B E-Liga Sul Stars Beginners and Broken Silence. I think it's interesting so far that we're seeing obviously Broken Silence very much the favourites, and would be E-Liga Sul are being tipped as favourites from the Asia as well. So I think the groups are shaping up pretty nicely so far.
Yeah, because I was going to say the Group A looked like the group of death so far, but now that Broken Silence are obviously in Group B, it's really shaking things.
Well, let's see then, because the partner tournament entries are really going to could throw a cat amongst the pigeons.
Absolutely. So I believe if my information is correct, these two qualified through Toyota tournament, one of the partners, and the first team out is Ratchaburi.
Very interesting. Ratchaburi, the runners-up in the Toyota E-League tournament to get there. So obviously, I think you could possibly make a case for maybe the weakest side in the tournament so far. But also a lot of work to do for them.
But also potentially an unknown as well, Paul.
Absolutely, and we've seen how unknowns can have a real wildcard effect at major tournaments.
Absolutely.
And finally, for the sake for all the completists out there,
let's hope Broken Silence. No, I'm joking. Of course, it is Buriram United.
Yes,
of course, the second partner team.
Indeed, and yes, the Toyota E-League winners for that tournament, booking their place in this. So obviously, high hopes for their performances when they come up against the big boys such as Broken Silence, etc., etc. And brilliant work, Mr. Butcher.
That pretty much brings the first draw to an end, and let us know at home what you think about those, Paul.
Absolutely. Now that you've seen it, you can interact with us, of course, by continuing to use the Twitch chat, or you can tweet in at Official PES as well. There are our groups. Group A, then Tigers Esports, Wani, QDS, Ratchaburi. Group B, Adam?
It's really tough because we've already mentioned how QDS Lags, for example, and Tiger Esports have done so well in their respective regions. So I was swaying on that, but possibly with the Broken Silence edition and the winners of the partner tournament as well. Maybe Group B. We'll have to wait and see.
Very, very interesting stuff. Obviously, if you guys watching at home, do let us know then. As I say, interact with us alongside the live stream on Twitch, wherever you're watching the live stream, of course, or you can tweet in at Official PES, facebook.com/PES as well. We've got a fantastic competition we're going to be announcing for you a little later on after the 1v1, so make sure you stay tuned. Don't go, the draw will finish and there'll be a temptation to go, there we go, I've gained all the information. Wrong. There was a chance for you to win some fantastic in-game prizes to make you better on my club, make you a better player, and maybe give you that little extra boost, a little bit of extra training you need to become one of the top players that you're going to see in next week's World Finals. When we return, it's going to be the draw for the 1v1s. But before then, let's take a closer look at the names that are going to be in the hat.
Through the middle as well if he can find him, but he's been forced wide by Marquinhos, but he's turned in again. It's in towards that man, Aubameyang, and this man scores goals for fun. Eterito, the world champion, showing exactly why he's that. What a player, Harry.
Sistema de... ¡Epa! Infracción, hay falta, le pegó. ¡Gol!
っていう感じですよね。わあ、一番大裏、ナイス戻り、もう一回。やらせてしまうのか。
Here we are, the final. First thing I've noticed, no handshake between the two. That should show everyone here in the arena how much of a grudge match this really is between these two. One penalty away from being the champion. This is it. Can he do it? Mkhitaryan up against Czech. All over the top, Aubameyang, he'll just feed this one off, and your champion for the second season for the regionals here in the Americas is Gafera. Certainly deserved it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the PES League Studios. We are in the midst of the draw for the massive, the World Finals that are going to be taking place at the Emirates Stadium next week. In fact, this time next week, Adam, we'll be right in the midst of the co-ops.
Right at the death, yeah. It's going to be an absolutely epic event, and as you can see, that's where you can watch it.
Yeah, tune in then from Friday from 2 p.m. onwards as the co-ops kicks off, and then as we get into the Saturday, from Saturday morning, 11 a.m. UK time, you're going to be able to see the best of the best going head to head. Make sure you get involved with everything we're doing here. Twitch.tv/PES League, Facebook.com/PES, YouTube.com/official PES, and of course follow @official PES on Twitter. We've got a great competition lined up for you, which I'm going to give you more details on once we have completed the 1v1 draws. But yes, this is where it really starts to hot up. You've done a sensational job so far.
Stop it. I have.
I mean, I literally can't stop it. That's fine. But no, I mean, the excitement's really building. This is what people really get into it for, don't they?
I mean, it's great for not only the guys at home who are actually a part of this draw and are going to be playing the pro players, but also the guys at home, the fans and stuff of these players, growing year on year as well. The numbers that are watching these sort of events, and they're itching to see who their favourite is going to be paired up against, or quadruple up against. That's not even a term, but there's going to be 4 teams in that group. So yeah,
absolutely, indeed. The draw will be coming up in any minute now. Really, Adam, do you want to sidle over?
Yeah, saunter across, as you can see.
Across with style.
So we have again the 4 different regions where these players qualified from: the Americas, Asia, Europe, and partner last chance as well. There's going to be 4 groups of 4: Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. If my alphabet works correctly, it does. So firstly, I'm going to be pouring...
It's not your alphabet, it's just the alphabet.
For all transparency, of course, I will be pouring all of the balls into the bowls and then going to start the draw from there. So we're going to start with the hopefully four balls from the Americas. Oh, we've got different colours now. We had just white ones before, now we're white and blue. And then we go to the Asia region. And of course, these qualification stages happen throughout the year in the PES League, and they culminate, of course, next week at the Emirates Stadium. Truly stunning venue, of course, for these players. A great chance for not only the players but the fans, of course, to actually get a chance to see that stadium as well. So, Paul, would you like me to start with Group?
Well, just for those of you at home, let's just quickly run through the teams I think that are in each bowl, just for the sake of clarity and what have you. In our first bowl, we've got FM Estra 12, Henri Quino, nailed that. Gui Ferra and Lou Z7, yes.
You nailed all 4 of them.
Absolutely. I've done this to myself. Didn't even need to do this, but I've done it nevertheless. Moving on then into the Asia, but we've got Zeus, Fiden, Maya Gaker, Very Sutton, and Kalok C. And then in the EU pot, we've got, of course, at this point now needs no introduction, world famous Eterito, S Venom, Uzmakabal, and Christopher _PW. And then I think really interestingly, of course, Adam, as you mentioned, you've got your partner tournament, but also your last chance tournament players as well in here. Brute D. Jesus, Alan Mao, Alison Black, and the Palmer 2.
Yeah, so in case anyone's just joining us now, the last chance group, basically, it's partner / last chance, but if they did qualify through the last chance, it was basically players who tried to qualify through the regional finals and actually did get to those regional finals, but of course, unfortunately, weren't quite good enough on the day to get through. They had another chance, and this time they were, of course, successful. Of course, some big names in these bowls, the likes of Eterito, Guiafera, of course, 2 years ago he won it. And the likes of Henry Quino as well, and Maya Gecker, some massive names, and they're just a few that I've mentioned there. So I think it's time to get the balls out, don't you?
Absolutely, whip those balls out.
There we go. Settle down, Paul. This is a family-friendly show. As we go to the Americas first, we're going to take out the first one, and it is, of course, going into Group A, number 1 spot. Well, I mentioned him just a minute ago, Guiafera. The young Brazilian.
Indeed, as mentioned, the 2017 world champion, looking to get back on top. Have you got a card?
Just for all transparency again. Second adjudicator there, Paul. Beautiful hand you've got there.
Thank you very much. I'm manicure, not really. 2 chances to win for him, because of course he's going to be taking part in the co-op tournament as well.
Yes, he's done really, really well this year. After possibly slightly disappointing for him last year, he's back at the top of his game. We're going to now take the second ball out of the first bowl, and this is going to go into the first spot in Group B, and it is another player who I mentioned, Henry Quino.
Yeah, season 1 goal difference of +20, which is the joint highest in any region or season. He's looking for his first PES League world title.
And there he is.
Thank you indeed. Beautiful.
Third ball out of the bowl from the Americas into Group C will be F. Mestre, another man who's been around the block in quite a few different tournaments over the PES League years.
Indeed, qualified as the Season 1 America's Regional Final winner and last year's semi-finalist.
There you go. Some big names already out of the hat. Of course, you would expect that.
Interesting.
Considering they've had to go through a lot to get here.
Indeed, and that was that man right there, knocked out by eventual champion Eterito. Maybe a little bit of afters there, something to pay attention to as the group starts to filter out.
Possibly. And then the final ball out of the first bowl should be, Paul?
It should be Luca 7.
It's not.
And yes, it is.
Luca 7, there you go.
Brilliant. Yes, the Season 2 America's Regional Final runner-up made it all the way to the Season 2 Regional Grand Finals without a loss, but was eventually beaten by Guifera. So a little bit of afters potentially in the making there. One of the, again, another little, we love the little grudge matches in these tournaments.
Yep,
add some real zest to what promises to be an already very, very tasty tournament.
And of course they will culminate towards the end of the tournament, because they are all separated in these group stages. Of course, all 4 teams from the Americas, or players from the Americas, are in the different groups, and the same for the rest of the region. So the first ball,
let's just take a little moment. You've got it in your hand. I will vouch that this is not left Adam's hand. Let's get a quick look then at how the groups.
I'm going to come over to you with the ball in my hand.
Out so far. So we're going to do Group A next. Who is the ball in Adam's hand is going to be alongside Guifera? Who is it going to be? Without further ado, then let's crack on with our draw.
Still in my hand.
From the
full
Asia
transparency. It hasn't moved. And I'm going to come back over here. There we go. So this is the first ball out of the Asia region, and this is going to be going into Group A in that second spot. And the name is another man who I mentioned already. Big names, Maya Geka.
Maya Geka indeed, set to compete on the PES League World Stage for the 2nd time in a row. He was the Season 2 Asia Regional Final runner-up.
There you go.
Thank you.
He has carried a lot of the weight on his shoulders for the Asia region over the last couple of years, and hopefully he can do the same again. Now we're going to go for the second ball out of the Asia region. Hopefully we're not going to go to another break, Paul. We're going to keep this all in one take. Thank you.
Lesson learned.
And then and the second team out of the Asia region is Galaxy, and that will be going in, and he will be going into Group B, of course.
Absolutely. Our Season 2 Asia Regional Finals semi-finalists secured a world final place via the Asia Regional Finals. Recently been crowned the PES 2019 Hong Kong champion.
There you go. The pedigree again showing through.
Perfect.
Another close-up of your lovely manicured hand there, Paul. And the third ball out of the Asia Bowl will be going into Group C, and it is, I mean, if he can put in performances like his name might suggest, Zeus, he could be in
the mighty Zeus find. Yes. Yes, Season 2 Asian Regional Final winner, Indonesian national champion twice in 2016 and 2019 as well.
There you go. So even some of the players who haven't quite managed to qualify in the last couple of years in the PES League due to the high standard have got massive pedigree, on their own
patches, on their own
turf. Yeah. So the final ball out of the Asia Bowl going into Group D should be
very Sutton,
and it is
not slightly Sutton.
Very Sutton.
Very Sutton indeed. He was our Asia Regional Finals semi-finalist for Season 2. Been a very strong contender in recent years, earning the title of Hong Kong champion in both 2016 and 2017. He was a finalist in the 2018 World Tour American round.
There you go. Another player coming out of the Hong Kong region. And that should wrap up 2 spots in each of the 4 groups.
Indeed. So yes, that wraps up the balls out of the pot for the American region and for the Asian regions thus far. We're going to have next up is going to be the EU guys, followed of course by our last chance partner bowl. I believe we've got the graphics so far to see how the groups are shaping up. Early thoughts on that, Adam?
Straight away, Group A for me is a very, very strong group with Guifera and Maya Geka, 2 very good players from their respective regions, of course, America and Asia.
Really interesting, of course, because we don't have seeding from here on in, so this could be really thrown in. We know we've got the EU guys; these guys we've followed obviously more closely, having just come off the regional finals. Eterito still to come out. His name is in that next pot.
Yeah.
Promises to be very, very exciting. Make sure you keep your thoughts coming in on what you want to see and what you thought on what you've seen so far by using the comments alongside the stream on Twitch. Adam, then, shall we dive into the EU players?
Yes, so we are halfway through the 1v1s, and apologies guys if you're watching at home and you are one of the players and I've drawn you against someone that you didn't want to play against, but unfortunately that is, as they say, the luck of the draw. So the first one out of the third bowl, the Europe Bowl, and going into Group A to join Guiafera and Maegeka, potentially a group of death. Oh my word, Mr. Eterito into Group A.
Wow, we literally just couldn't have called it. I couldn't have called it any better. Eterito, wow, the current PES world champion, looking to go back to back. Last time someone won.
Well, no, you carry on and then I'll say what I was going to say.
Thank you. The last time back to back world champions was won by, it was Maccabeal in 15 and 16. But as you say, yes, a real clash of titans.
Yes,
already.
you've got Eterito from last year, and then you've got Guiafera from the year before, of course.
Indeed. Wow.
Wow, indeed. So Group A is the one to beat so far. So some of these players will be pretty thankful that they've managed to avoid that. The final group, the partners in the last chance, going into Group A would be one to try and avoid. So the second one out of Europe, going into Group B, will be Christopher PW, also taking part in the eFootball Pro as well, and he did really well at the latest regional finals, didn't he?
Absolutely, indeed. Yes, as you say, qualifying from Season 2 as the runner-up for the EU regional finals. Won his ticket on home soil, of course, as well. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic competitor. The tactical master.
The man who's been around the block.
Yes, absolutely, indeed.
All the tricks of the trade he used in order to get here. Can he do them again in the World Finals next week? We will wait and see. The third ball out of the Europe Bowl and going into Group C will be another player who did really well in the first of the regional finals, Venom.
Yep, S Venom, the big man himself. Loves a big celebration as well. We've seen him very, very vocal on social media with his training regime building up to this one. He now knows who he's going to be going up against. He was, as mentioned, our Season 1 EU regional final runner-up.
Potentially a grudge match in the latter stages with Eterito if they both qualify as well.
Absolutely, definitely one to watch out for should both those guys progress from the group stages.
Just balls all over the floor right now.
It's like your normal Friday night, really, isn't it? Carry on.
So on to the final ball in the Europe Bowl. Going into Group D is, well, this man is another one who needs no introduction. Us Maccabeal.
Yep, double world champion, as mentioned earlier, back to back in 15-16. What a player, what a man for the big occasion as well. Dominating the stage as we've seen in our VTs with his exceptionally animated celebrations on the way. Definitely one to watch out for, the guy from AS Monaco as well. So there you go, it was Maccabeal. That completes the draw for the EU players going into the pot. That Group A, as called, was going to be a very, very difficult one indeed. Made all the more difficult, but you've got one current and a former world champion in that pot already.
Yeah, it certainly is the group of death. There are no two ways about it so far. But Group C as well with F. Mestre and Venom. Of course, big names on the tour, and Zeus as well, doing really well in his region as well. So certainly players aplenty in those groups. But yeah, Group A for me so far.
Indeed, yes. Let us know your thoughts then on the groups thus far. We've got one more pot, 4 more players to be drawn and added into it. Don't forget you can interact with everything we're doing by using @officialpez on Twitter as well. And as mentioned, we've got a competition coming your way very, very shortly. When we've completed the 1v1 draws, I will reveal what that competition is with a chance for you to get better and increase your squad and squad quality in my club. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Adam, then here we go.
I almost don't want to do this next one because this one from the partner / last chance will be going into Group A with Guiafera, Eterito and Maegeka.
As we've seen already, if you wish to interact with Adam, his Twitter handle does pop up on screen periodically. So whoever,
come say hello.
There you go, ASB_YT. If you're not happy if you've been drawn in Group A, make sure you let Adam know on Twitter.
It will be my fault, and I apologise.
100% your fault.
Nothing I can do. I've been forced to do this.
So just to clarify, as we said, this is the last chance tournament, the partner tournament. Some real wild cards in this pot, and as we say, the last players to go into these groups. We're going to know what the groups are shaping up like for the World Finals any second now. Let's do it.
So, Group A. Now, in fact, I'm going to
mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm actually nervous. I'm not even a part of the actual tournament. So, the person in this ball, Eterito, Guiafera, and Maya Gecker awaits you in the Group A, potentially of death. Alan
Mao, wow, okay. WSG runner-up gained his position by competing at our partnered tournament. He will be going for gold in both the 1v1 and the co-op categories. He's a member of the E-Liga Soul team. So another guy there with phenomenal pedigree. I mean, we're talking about these guys as though they're the rank outsiders, but this guy is as many chances of coming home the victor as Eterito does. He's entered the tournament twice. That group looks ridiculous.
It does look ridiculous, but like you said, on the day as well, we have seen in previous tournaments some of the players have had off days or even off games, and it can completely blow tournaments wide open. So you never know. Right, so going into Group B, the final player, the fourth player in that group from the partner/last chance will be Group de Jesus. If I pronounce that right.
Our Toyota E-League winner reached the final after his impressive showing at that tournament. Will he be able to take that momentum into the World Finals? We'll have to wait and see.
So, 2 balls left, Group C and Group D. And the first one coming out into Group C will be the Parma 2.
The Parma 2, our Europe last chance winner, the man from Spain, reached the EU Season 1 regional finals, quarter-final stage, but was offered the chance in the last chance tournament, and he took that chance with both hands to book his place in this draw.
Beating a good few players on the way as well.
Absolutely, some of the best of the best, and there you go, the Parma 2 is in Group C.
So our final ball, I just trod on a ball, nearly fell over, that would have been embarrassing. The final ball, Paul, who should it be?
It's going to be Alison Black.
I don't know why I'm stirring it, there's only one in there. We have a joke and a laugh here, don't we?
Oh, don't we just.
And the final player to cap off an incredible draw, I must say, with the players that are involved, Alison Black.
Alison Black indeed, yes, from Brazil, America's last chance winner. Much like the Parma, he won the American region equivalent of that. Narrowly missed out on progressing to the knockouts in the Season 2 regional finals. He got his second opportunity by the last chance tournament and made sure to take it. Another one there who's flying high, hopefully taking his momentum through into the World Finals next week. Alison Black, there you go. That is the draws for the co-ops and for the 1v1s complete. For those of you who've just joined us recently, or maybe dived in particularly for the 1v1s, let's have a little look back then at the co-op groups. There we go. Tiger Esports, Wani, QDS and Ratchaburi are in Group A. In Group B is E-Liga Soul Stars, Beginners, Broken Silence and Buriram United. If you want to get our analysis on that, please do check back into the earlier part of the stream. We're here right now for the 1v1, so let's take a closer look at what we've just drawn out there. Adam, you said it as we were doing it. That Group A, my word.
There are no words to really talk about the fact that last year's winner will play the winner from 2 years ago straight away in the group stages. That is a pretty impressive draw. And then, like I said, Maya Gecker, He's had a glut of experience in recent PES League big tournaments, and of course Alamau as well, one of the partner players. He's no slouch either.
Well, we've got a few former world finalists in there. Obviously, as we say, Eterito there in Group A is the reigning champ. As mentioned, Guifara is in there. He's got wins under his belt. As Macabal's got back-to-back wins, but Christopher PW going back all the way to 2010 as well as a former champion. So the quality is really well spread. I think maybe you could argue then that Group C is perhaps the most open. As a result, maybe not as clear-cut who the favourite might be.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you'd have to agree potentially with that, just due to the fact that if you look at Group D, for example, you'd expect Asmakabal to get through. He could have an off day, like I said, but you'd expect him to get through, and then it's kind of 1 from 3 you would expect to go through with him. And then you look at Group B. Henry Quino's had experience, Christopher PW, glut of experience as well. The other two, a little bit more unknown in the PES League, sort of in recent years anyway. So, you would expect possibly those two to go through. And then Group C is a bit more open, like you said. So Venom did really well in the first regional finals in Europe. Of course, getting to the final there, only getting beaten in the final by Eterito. F Mestre, massive experience in the last 2 or 3 years in the PES League. And then Zeus and the Palmer, a bit more of an unknown, but again, still have the quality.
You've got some fantastic stories there. I think you've got the guys who've gone through the last chance tournaments, the Palmer 2 being a great example of that. Last chance. He was preparing for a weekend of watching this at home. Yeah, no, absolutely. And all of a sudden, he's booked his place. He's got to gear himself back up again. But he's been in a competitive tournament more recently than some of the guys. You look at the guys who qualified back in season 1. They've been trying to keep themselves fresh, keep themselves on board. We've seen Venom. He was floating around over in Porto, getting a feel for the situation and what have you, meeting with the players, trying to keep his eye in. Maybe he's much bigger than most of the guys, so doing a little bit of a lean on this kind of stuff. So many fascinating threads and stories that, of course, we're going to be picking up on next
Absolutely,
week.
Loads of stories. We mentioned in some of the regional finals, Curtis Lags, for example, one of the youngest players on the tour, alongside his compatriot who had the experience, but in CAMS, and then together, what a team! And then they kind of blew everyone out of the water in that tournament, and
could potentially go from being a 2-man team that they were
a 3-man team
back to a 3-man team that got them the qualification to the regionals.
Absolutely. And then the likes of Osterbuch, I think he was 15 from Scotland, playing for the UK. He did really well in the regionals, didn't quite go through to the world finals, but it was a real story of that regionals, and there are going to be bucket loads of more stories that are coming through at the world finals next week.
Potential stars to be made, and you can follow along with everything. As mentioned, this time next week we will be in the midst of the co-ops. They all kick off on Friday the 28th of June from 2 p.m. English time, followed on the Saturday by the 1v1s. That's Saturday the 29th of June at 11 a.m. You can keep up to date with that, and you can watch along twitch.tv/PES League, facebook.com/PES, youtube.com/official PES, and make sure, of course, to follow @official PES on Twitter for all of the latest PES news. And for the competition that is currently running, there is a pinned tweet on the Twitter account @official PES. The competition is as follows. You can win 60,000 GP. That is guaranteed for entering, and you've got a chance to win 2 85 plus overall rated scouts, which includes some legend players as well. Anyone, of course, who plays my club will know what that means and will be desperate to win that, because adding that kind of quality to your squad can make a massive difference to your overall output. Adam, have you got some stuff for us then?
Yes, there's a couple of bits coming in on the chat, and we asked you for your predictions, etc. We've got, oh my word, juicy, that group. I'm guessing Group A. I'm guessing that
the group of
we've got
juice.
Fabinho was talking about Group A potentially. Again, we've got that Group A. Alamau rounds off a crazy Group A. A lot's coming in about Group A. We've also got here predictions. Easy group for Venom coming in from the Herbie95. Believes that potentially Group C will be dominated by that man, Henry Quino, and somebody else from Group B as well, coming in from number 1 Pirate. And just scrolling down the list to see, there's loads more, and I'm sure we don't have time, but of course you can check out those comments in the chats as well when you're watching. So
absolutely,
keep adding as well.
So yes, as we say, don't forget to go and enter that competition. It's down to you to guess who is going to be winning the co-ops, who is going to be winning the 1v1s. Enter, get yourself some GP guaranteed, and if you guess correctly, you could win 2 85+ rated scouts for your My Club team as well. See, we like to get involved, get your skills up, get your practice in, express your love.
Who knows? They could be here next year.
I mean, probably not here, unless you're better than us. In which case, keep it to yourselves because we quite enjoy this. But you can take part. That is the beauty of PES League. Get your practice in, get ready. We know eFootball PES 2020 is just around the corner as well. But before then, we have got the World Finals. We've been building to this 2 seasons across the regions, across the world, and it's all going to be kicking off from next Friday at the Emirates Stadium. I'll be there. Adam, you'll be there. Are you excited?
I am more than excited. I was going to try and think of something witty about why I was not going to be there, but didn't. Just it's going to be amazing, basically, because we've seen the players that have come out not only in the 1v1s but the co-ops as well, something that was fresh last year, and it really took the PES League to a whole new level. Whereas, of course, it's a year on, we know more what to expect, and we're expecting some great things again.
Indeed. So yes, check us out there. Thank you very much for watching today's draw. Keep your thoughts, predictions and everything else coming in the comments, and don't forget, of course, to tweet at official PES. Other than that, I am Paul Machin. This has been Adam Butcher. This has been the draw for the PES League 2019 World Finals. We'll see you at the Emirates.